Hey, this is Carrie. Thanks for taking the time to watch this short video. Today I want to answer a question. What is child's pose? And how can I modify this pose so that it works better for my yoga practice? Child's pose is a pose that you often find taken at the beginning of a yoga class. There's something about the energy of child's pose, putting our body close to the ground, rooting our hands and our forehead down, that creates a sense of grounding and surrender at the beginning of a yoga practice. It's also a beautiful pose that you could take any time of day, no matter what's going on in your life. Sometimes I find if I'm overwhelmed and just feeling a little bit out of sorts, just taking child's pose can be enough to bring me back to the rooting and grounding of my physical well-being. So today I want to go over this pose and a few different modifications that could help you get into this pose a little bit easier, especially if you feel like it's tight on your hips. So let's go over child's pose. Start by facing the front of your mat, come to all fours, and open your knees to the edges of your mat. Now gently bring your big toes to touch behind you and sink your booty back to your heels. Walk your arms forward and bring your chest and your forehead to the floor. And then you can take a few breaths right there. Now, if you notice that opening your knees wide creates some tension in your hips, your thighs, or your back, here's a couple of things that you can try. First, try using a block. A block underneath the forehead could be a really nice way to not produce as much tension. You can put the block on the first setting, closest to the ground, the second setting, or even up on the tallest setting. And it looks something like this. Another option for child's pose is to use a yoga bolster. This is a yoga bolster from the company Manduka, but you can get them anywhere. And I like them a little bit longer like this. That could go right between your knees. I've got this bolster right here on the edge of my knees. And then just gently begin to lay your torso on the pillow. Again, this is another prop that you can use so that your body is not so close to the floor and it might take off some of the tension in the outer edges of your hips. Another option for child's pose is to bring your knees closer together. If I bring my knees closer together, it might not produce as much of a hip opening sensation in the outer edges of my hips. Coupled with a block, this could be a really nice modification. It looks something like this. Child's pose is a wonderful pose that you can take any time of day, really for any reason. I suggest using props and tools if you feel like this pose produces a little bit too much tension in your hips or your back. Another option is just to not take child's pose, and you can take supine butterfly on your back instead by bringing the soles of your feet to touch and placing your hands over your chest and your belly. If you find that child's pose isn't a comfortable pose for you, then consider other options for your practice, and just know that when you're practicing yoga, you are always the one in charge. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you found it useful. I would love to see you in class sometime. If you follow the link right below in the description, there's a link for you to sign up for a free class, and I would love to see you on the mat. Please like and subscribe if you found this video useful, and I hope to see you soon.